Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. Welcome to the Engini Room. I'm Carmel. I work in growth and marketing here at the company, and I created this podcast show to cut through all the vibe code hype and look at how real companies are actually orchestrating their work with AI in 2026. So today, our first guest is Idan. He's the head of business development at Engini. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? And thanks for coming on.
First of all, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be the first guest in Engineers Room podcast. And I would like to share with my knowledge how I'm implementing AI, how we use AI, and share some insights. And
Awesome. Great. So let's get right into it. So the first question I have for you is, what is the most expensive AI mistake that you've seen a company make lately, right? How much did it cost them? We want to help other people prevent making these kinds of mistakes.
well, I think everyone knows this story about Pocket OS.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Basically, they used AI for vibe coding, I think, to do something. And I think after 9 seconds or something, the AI just deleted everything they have, our
hmm
coding and data source. I don't know. And I think it cost them a lot of money. And
Yeah.
that's why sometimes you need to put guardrails for AI. You just need to trust on AI and you need to check what you're doing with the AI before just give it to the agent, do whatever you want.
Yeah, no, exactly. It was really scary. I remember the story coming out. They gave AI specific instructions, and on purpose, the AI purposefully ignored every single instruction that they gave and then like deleted their whole Pocket OS database in 9 seconds, which is insane. Um,
Yeah. Imagine being the one who sent the instruction to the AI, what you
oh
need to
my
say to the
gosh.
boss. Like, sorry,
Yeah,
boss.
that's crazy. That's exactly the problem, right? Everyone loves AI, everyone loves ChatGPT and chatbots. It's like their best friend, right? But there's no caution here, and there should be more caution because in finance or even sales operations, even a 95% accurate LLM can lead to a 100% failure, as we saw with the Pocket OS story, where their database was wiped out in only 9 seconds, right? Because of an AI mistake. So, from your perspective, you work with companies helping them implement AI and implement our solutions. Why is a chatbot or ChatGPT, something like that, a distraction? What do they actually need in terms to orchestrate AI and implement it correctly, right?
Mm, If we are taking the Pocket OS story and we're taking to something else, for example, if you say we don't have a guardrails for AI and everyone you say obsessed with AI, I'm using
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT or Gemini and Claude and everything, building agents but the problem is, he's not giving you the accurate data. Sometimes you think it's giving you the accurate data, but it's not because first of all, it's not connecting to your tools. What's the software that I'm using? And if you're taking it to the ChatGPT, no, first of all, you're training their model. You don't want to train your model, somebody
Mm-hmm.
else's model on your
Yeah.
data and tell
Mm-hmm.
like what to do now and sending API and keys just to build something. Um, so I think
Yeah.
this is why everyone are obsessed with AI, but usually most of the people are using AI say like, I don't like this AI. I don't know. I'm giving him like the direction to go to, and he's
Mm-hmm.
doing like the opposite. Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
if I was AI, I'm not connecting to your tools. Yeah, I'm gonna lead to everywhere. Like I'm not working in the company. I'm not connecting to your stack. How I can know what to do?
Exactly. Yeah. So everything needs to be in place so that these things don't happen, right? Well, for example, we provide something called like an orchestration layer, right? In order to make sure that this AI is running smoothly. I'm not very technical. Would you be able to explain to me what exactly is the orchestration layer and why is it needed for enterprise operations and implementing AI at such a large scale?
Yeah, so first of all, I like to work with CFOs and I like to work with
Hmm.
non-tech companies.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
because most of those companies want to use AI. They want to make things move faster and smoothly, and taking like sometimes you can waste your time on ridiculously tasks.
Hmm.
And so this is where Engini comes. Like this is the orchestration layer that we are sitting between your tools and you, and it's kind
Yes.
of a bridge. Imagine yourself a bridge. And also I didn't mention that, but our platform is a no code platform. You don't need to know any coding, you don't need to have any technical background. We
Hmm.
have the built-in connectors. If it's SAP, Salesforce, everything is out of the box. You just need to plug to your softwares and just start to use it. um Start to
Yeah.
use Engini. Yeah.
Exactly. No, that's so easy. I was gonna ask you about that as well because, for big enterprises and companies that are using legacy tools like SAP, Salesforce, right? They don't want to have to change their whole operating basis and all of their tools, right? So the fact that we can integrate, and I think we have over 500, over 1,000 integrations right now. So we basically integrate with so many tools, and it's so much easier for these companies to, like you said, just use our AI on top of the tools that they're already using. Um,
Yeah.
right?
I'm using Engini for my team. I build them in automation that's connecting to our CRM, our Monday.
Yes.
And we are using, if you know, Apollo.
Mhm.
And so there's a trigger I put in the morning. The automation starts like it goes from Apollo and then goes to the Monday and search for new leads. And
Mhm.
if the lead is not existing in the in CRM, so it puts inside the CRM and it's giving them insights and what to tell to the people that you're gonna call him. This is a use case that I like to show when I'm talking with people for sales people.
Yeah, and there's so many use cases that, we can provide and that AI can help with anything
Yeah,
really, which is why it's so amazing. Any sort of operations. But the only thing is, when we talk about implementing AI, obviously the ROI is massive on any scale. But we do need to talk about security, right? So CISOs and organizations are fundamentally trained to distrust the unknown. And right now, AI is the biggest unknown. We discussed the Pocket OS story, and there are countless other stories like that as well. So, however, even with that said, currently human error still causes the majority of security breaches and security issues across the board, right? So, with that context, even with security heads being paranoid about AI, right, what would you say to help convince a CISO that letting AI orchestrate their operations and their tech stack is actually safer than a human managing it, right? Can you explain a little bit how the right sort of AI is probably less
yeah.
likely to make a mistake than a tired, overworked human?
So this is a good question. Everyone are obsessed with their security and
Hmm.
something that makes sense.
Yeah.
But first of all, we have our compliance that we have if we are working with government, we are working with defense and
Hmm.
banking and more. Um, but first of all, when we are using the AI worker, the agent, there's a guardrails that, first of all, there's a skill that the AI can do what skills that we told him to do. So he can't go to do things by his own. And once you're connecting to a software, so every user have any restriction.
Mm-hmm.
So Engini knows what restriction each user have. So it means that you can go inside from, if you have Salesforce example, you want to see something that a VP using, like this user can't because they don't have these restrictions. So everything is governed, and we are using it, taking it like really seriously.
Awesome. Yeah. Security is really important. All right. So before I let you go, I have two more questions. The first one is, if you could replace one person in your life with an AI agent, who would it be, right? What do you think would be the best use case for
Ooh,
that? I know it's a
that's a
tough question.
that's a tough and good
Yeah.
questions.
Mhm.
First of all, I like to work with humans. So
Oh,
I think
yeah. Okay.
we want to replace humans with AI. This is also what we
Good
don't want to do it
answer.
with
Yeah.
Engini.
Mhm.
But if I have to and it's mandatory, I will switch, I don't know, travel agent.
That's a good one.
Sometimes I have to call her and I have to wait. Like,
Mhm.
I know now I can do it everything within a travel agent, AI travel agent.
Yeah. Give me one prediction for, AI in the next few years that you think is going to happen, right? What is going to happen with AI?
I think, I hope this not gonna be, but
Mhm.
I think companies start hire more AI than humans.
Oh, wow.
But I hope companies will start hire people that can use AI and make it more efficient.
Hmm. Got it. Okay. That's a good
Yeah.
one. It's a little scary, but I agree, but I also think that it'll be easier for humans to be more successful in the future with AI. It's a lot easier to start business. It's going to be a lot more, I think, of like a democratic process because, you know, anyone can use
Yeah.
AI. AI is, you don't need to be super technical. You don't need to have a master's degree to do all these things. You don't have to even maybe be an engineer to code. So it'll really like level the playing field in terms of the skills that
You need to have some skills for using
yeah.
AI.
Well, that's
You need to direct him for what to do, because this is
mhm.
what probably might be happen in Pocket OS. I don't know if you direct the AI what to do. Sometimes you're saying like, okay, I don't know what to do. Maybe just help me. Sometimes happen to me.
It's tough when you're trying to implement AI at such a large scale, right? When you're implementing
Yeah.
it for a company that has thousands of employees, it's probably a lot tougher to figure out how to do that. And I think hopefully that gets easier in the next few years. So thanks so much for coming on the Ingenie Room, and thanks to everyone who watched this video. Well, thanks for being our first guest. We're going to have more episodes, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right.
Stay tuned.
Yes. Bye.